Hello everyone, welcome to Concise UPSC. As discussed in the Master Plan 2025, I'll be starting with ancient history from today onwards. So before starting any subject for self-study, we first need to go through the previous year questions in both prelims and mains so that we'll have an idea of topics to focus on. So this is part of our chunk A, that is GS1, under which this is ancient history. Now, talking about the source or book to read about ancient history, see, it depends on whether you have any previous knowledge or whether you have read ancient history before or not. And I designed this course mainly for those people who couldn't qualify prelims this year. So, for those people who already have a whole year or more of UPSC preparation. So for those students, they would have already gone through this thing. They would have already at least read ancient history once. So for them, it's advice to choose one book. Either it can be a book or notes or any supplementary material as the primary source. Okay. And once you attempt MCQs or practice other questions also from May's perspective, then add that material here in your primary source or book, whether it can be book notes or any supplementary material. Now, let's start with the PYQs of ancient history. So we'll just go on by reading the PYQs, reading the options, and seeing for ourselves that what are the topics that have been asked previously in UPSC. See, because for general studies subject, it becomes very heavy or it becomes a quite load for us if you look to cover each and everything from the standard textbook. So we have to narrow down our focus to only those parts which are repeatedly asked in the examination. Okay, so you can Google all these things, like you can Google ancient history or UPSC prelims PYQs year-wise. Just by Googling it, you can, few links will open up. So I have opened this page containing ancient history UPSC prelims 2013 to 2022 previous year questions. I'll go one by one. I will start with 2014. Yeah. So in 2014, the one question that was asked was, which one of the following pairs does not form part of the six systems of Indian philosophy? Memans and Vedanta, Nyaya and Vaisesika, Lokayat and Kapalika, Sankhya and Yoga. So the answer is C, Lokayat and Kapalika. Sorry, Kapalika. So the topic here becomes the six systems of Indian philosophy. The whether it were heterodox school or orthodox school, just write down this topic separately in your journal or notes for Indian ancient history. That these are the important topics. Okay. Under that thing, under the six system of Indian philosophy, you will see Mimamsa, Vedanta, Nyaya, Vaisesika, Sankhya, and Yoga. Okay. Also write Lokayat and Kapalika separately. Okay. Then, coming to the second thing, the national motto of India, Satyamev Jayate, inscribed below the emblem of India, is taken from Katha Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Astreya Upanishad, Mundak Upanishad. So, from this question, the topic that can be derived are first is Upanishads separately. Okay, this can also be a part of the uh, art and culture. But here in prelims, we read those things under ancient history headings only. Okay, so write down Upanishads separately. Under Upanishads separately, also mark Mundak Upanishad. Okay, now the third question was this: Chaitra 1 of national calendar based on Sak era correspond to which one of the following dates of the Gregorian calendar in a normal year of 365 days? Chaitra 1. Okay, so this is a difficult question for you. Even if you go through the whole textbook, uh, you won't find a single place where it is explicitly mentioned. I mean, it may have been mentioned, but no one recalls or remembers these facts. So this is a difficult question which you can skip, or if you have good knowledge, or if you know this from your common practice, also common practice or your common knowledge, then you can write it down. Okay, it can be written down as an approximate measure. The answer here is A, that is 22nd March or 21st March. So the topic that can be derived from here is Sak era. Sak era. Okay, who wear the sak. Then fourth question is consider the following statement. Bijak is a composition of the teachings of Saint Dadu Dayal. Second is the philosophy of Pushti Mark was propounded by Madhvacharya. Okay, both of these are important topics for your exam. Bijak, Saint Dadu Dayal, Madhvacharya. Okay, the answer is D. Neither one nor two. So all of them become separate topics. Now, fifth question, with reference to Buddhist history, tradition, and culture in India, consider the following pairs. Famous shrine, Tabo Monastery and Temple Complex. Location is also mentioned. Lossawa Lakhang Temple, Nagpur, Janskar Valley. Aichi Temple Complex in Ladakh Complex. Okay, the correct answer is C, that is 1 and 3 only. Option 2 is incorrect. Lossawa Lakhang Temple, Nagpur. So, earlier, I mean from 2013 to 2018, 2019, these questions from Buddhism or Jainism were repeatedly asked. Also, even in 2022 and even in 2023 and 2024, questions have been asked from other religions. I mean, from Buddhism, philosopher, Buddhism, Jainism, Upanishad philosophy. Okay, so you can't miss these parts. From this question, the topic uh, that can be derived is the location of famous shrines, or famous Buddhist shrines with their significance. Now the next question is, which of the following kingdoms were associated with the life of the Buddha? This is again related to Buddhism. Okay, Avanti, Gandhar, Kosal, Magad. The answer is D, that is 1, 3, and 4. That is Avanti, Kosal, Magad. Gandhar was part of your Gandhar. That is Afghanistan. Okay. So these three places, Avanti, Kosal, Magadha, they were located in that area where it was somewhere associated with the life of Buddha. Okay. Again, the topic that can be derived from this question is Buddhism itself, and also write down the names of these places. Okay. Then seventh question is this. Every year, a month-long ecologically important campaign festival is held during which certain communities or tribes plant saplings of fruit-bearing trees. Which of the following are such communities types? So, sorry, is this is not a part of ancient India question? Okay. Now this thing, with reference to the cultural history of India, the term Panchayatan refers to what is Panchayatan? It is a style of temple construction. So this is majorly a part of your art and culture. But this art and culture of ancient India is covered in ancient India itself if you are ready for prelims examination. Okay, so write down this name Panchayatan. Okay, now coming to the question in 2015, there was only one question from ancient history, and this it is this with reference to the art and archaeological history of India, which one among the following was made earliest? So this is also a difficult question, but if you have a gross idea about the timeline, you can derive the answer of this question. Okay, Lingara's temple at Bhubaneswar, rock cut elephant at Dholi, rock cut monument at Mahabalipuram, and Varah image at Udaygiri. Okay, so there is this book of Nitin Singhania. If you are preparing for UPSC for the first time, you can refer to that book for the different temples, temple architecture, temple also generally, or the architecture of ancient India. Okay, but for someone who is just revising things, I think you don't need to go into depths of this thing. That okay, if a question has been asked on Lingaraj temple at Bhubaneswar, then you will go and you will try to remember each and every year, uh, each and every year of when is this temple was made. Okay, if you'll go through the different temples and if you repeatedly revise it, this kind of sequence automatically forms inside your mind. Okay, and you'll be able to answer this question with ease. The topic is the temple architecture of ancient India itself. Now, coming to year 2016, the first question is with reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statements. The concept of Bodhisattva is central to Hinayan sect of Buddhism. Bodhisattva is a compassionate one on his way to enlightenment. Bodhisattva delays achieving his own salvation to help all sentient beings on their path to it. Which of the statements given above are correct? 1 only, 2 and 3 only, 2 only, 1, 2 and 3 only. So the correct answer is B, that is Bodhisattva is a compassionate one on his way to enlightenment, and Bodhisattva delays achieving his own salvation to help all sentient beings on their path to it. So in your notes, you would have already written that Buddhism is an important part of ancient India and is repeatedly being asked in UPSC prelims examination. Under that, you have to write Bodhisattva, then Hinayan sect of Buddhism. Coming to question number two, what are common to two historical places known as Ajanta and Mahabalipuram? Okay, so the correct answer is three. Both have rock cut monuments. Both were built in same period. No, both belong to same religious domination. No. Okay, so again, just write it in architecture of ancient India as Ajanta and Mahabalipuram. Okay, now third question with reference to the cultural history of India, the memorizing of chronicles, dynastic histories, and epic tales was the profession of who of the following? This is your question from ancient India. I mean, I find it difficult to remember the name of people who belong to a particular profession, and this kind of question has again been asked recently. Okay, so write down the topics from this question: Sraman, Parivrajak, Agraharik, and Magad. Okay, now we have another question. Consider the following pairs: famous place with region: Bodh Gaya, Khajuraho, Shirdi, Nasik, Tirupati, and the region. Again, the topic which can come from here is the temple architecture of ancient India. That's it. Now, coming to question number five, which one of the following books of ancient India has the love story of the son of the founder of Sunga dynasty? Correct answer is Malvika Agnimitra. Okay, this will be found in both places in ancient India and also in your art and culture part in literary culture or literature of ancient India. Okay. Write down other books as well. Swapna Vasava Datta, Malvika Agnimitra, Meghdut, Ratnavali. You don't need to go into the detail of each and every book, whatever was written in ancient India, but at least have an idea about the contemporary time at what things were happening at that time, and also which ruler or what whose rule was present at that time in India. Okay, so you can guess from that also. Now coming to year 2017, there were six questions that has been asked from ancient India. First question is this: with reference to the difference between the culture of Rigvedic Aryans and Indus Valley people, which of the following statement is or are correct? Rigvedic Aryans used the coat of mail and helmet in warfare, whereas the people of Indus Valley civilization did not leave any evidence of using them. Rigvedic Aryans knew gold, silver, and copper, where Indus Valley people knew only copper and iron. Rigvedic Aryans had domesticated the horse, whereas there is no evidence of Indus Valley people having been aware of this animal. So the correct answer is C, 1 and 3 only. But so I mean, this will be the official answer key of UPSC. But again, for third option, uh, horse remains have been found from Surkotara. That was one of the sites of Indus Valley people. But leave it aside. We have to follow whatever has come up in the UPSC answer key. Okay. So the topics from this question are first Rigvedic period and Indus Valley civilization. These are very important topics, and questions have been asked from these topics repeatedly. Now coming to the second thing, with reference to Manipuri Sankirtan, consider the following statement. It is a song and dance performance. Cymbals are the only musical instrument used in performance. It is performed to narrate the life and deeds of Lord Krishna. There are videos of this Sankirtan nowadays also on YouTube, but yeah, this is to narrate the life and deeds of Lord Krishna. The musical instruments may be separate. So from this is a part of your dance or other folk dances and other part of your culture, art and culture part. Okay, so the topic from this is the Sankirtan. Write down Sankirtan only. Don't need to remember each and every dance form. Okay, if any dance form, cultural element, or any art, if it gets highlighted in the news, then we have to write them down separately and we have to dig deep into it. Okay. Now, the third next question is this. With reference to the religious history of India, consider the following statements. Sautrantika and Sammitye were sects of Jainism, and Sarvastivadin held that constituents of phenomena were not only momentary but existed forever in a latent form. Which of the statements given above are correct? Okay, two only. Okay, this question is from the topic of Jainism. Okay, Buddhism, Jainism, Indus Valley civilization, Rig Vedic age. Okay, all these are very important. And from this, just write down Jainism. Under this, write down Sautrantika, Sammitya, and then Sarvastivadin. Now coming to the next question, that is the painting of Bodhisattva Padmapani is one of the famous and often illustrated paintings at. Here we have two things, two topics that have been covered here. First, write down Bodhisattva, just take it again. Okay, we have already written Bodhisattva. Then write down temple architecture. Okay, then write down Buddhist sites. Now again, this is from your art and culture part. Consider the following pairs: Chaliha Sahib Festival, Nantaraj Jat Yatra, Wari Warkari. And these are the communities that have been mentioned here. Which of the pairs given above are correctly matched? Maybe this question would have been asked from the current affairs of that time. Okay, but at least we have to make note of the things. If any such things comes up in our newspaper, then we can't miss that thing. At least have an idea about it. Just write that down in two or three words. Okay? That this particular festival belongs to this region or to this community. Write down the names of festivals if you feel like it, but I don't think this will serve any purpose for you because this might have been asked from the current affairs part. Now coming to the last question of 2017, which of the following is or are famous for sun temples? Amrasawali, Arasawali, Amarkantak, or Omkareshwar? The correct answer is A, one only Arasawali. Okay, again this is the question from temple architecture of ancient India. Okay, see for art and culture you may get separate notes or you can refer to Nitin Singhania book, but you have to restrict the study to only those parts which have been asked in the examination. Because once I started my UPSC preparation, I was very interested in learning more about art and culture. I was interested in music, so I started with a chapter on music itself, and I wasted a lot of time reading that thing. But ultimately, it didn't serve any purpose on my part. Okay, so be cautious about it. Okay? Don't get too immersed in one topic or one subject. Always know that there will be 100 questions, and in that 100 questions of UPSC films, you may be asked about any topic that you are reading. Okay. So that's it for today. I'll be continuing with PYQ discussion from 2018 onwards up to 2023, and I will also conclude tomorrow's video with the different mains questions which have been asked from ancient India topics. Okay. See you tomorrow again, and I'll be posting my first current affairs video on this Concise UPSC YouTube channel by 8 a.m. in the morning. Okay, enjoy enjoy your day. Bye bye.